Thank you, Zach. We have an author in the studio with us today. Carol Howell lives in the area near Macon. She and her husband are retired, live on a farm, and she has written a book called Sunset in Kentucky. And you've been a librarian, a retired librarian, and music teacher. So
that's correct.
You've been surrounded by books.
I have.
This is your first book, though.
This is my first book.
You've written other things in the past?
I've written children's plays. I've written poetry. Being that I have a music degree, I've written like extra lyrics to songs. And
okay, so you love writing.
I do.
Okay. What prompted you to write this story?
I've been doing genealogy. I've been intrigued by the fact that my grandmother, her last name was Patterson, and she always said she was from Ireland, and I wanted to trace her back to Ireland. We ended up in Kentucky, in the southern counties of Kentucky. And doing that, I fell in love with Kentucky, the state. And I said, you know, I think I'll write a book about Kentucky.
Or Cane-tuck, as
Cane-tucky it used to be called.
All right.
That's because they raised cane in early days.
Is that right?
And it wasn't Kentucky then. It was the cane lands.
Well, I thought they just talked funny, but they had a reason for it.
They had a reason. It was Cane-tucky.
Okay. And a lot of the settlers in Missouri did come from Kentucky and Tennessee.
That's true. That's true.
The majority of them, probably.
A lot of them came from Kentucky.
So your story is about these settlers in Kentucky back in, what, the 1830s?
1835 is when it starts.
Okay. Why that year?
Well, I wanted to back it up before the Civil War.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be writing a series.
Oh,
this is the first in a series.
Okay.
And so I backed it up far enough that the grandchildren or the children could fight in the Civil War.
Okay. And this is a family of settlers, and you specifically focus on a woman and her struggles as well.
I do. She has the storyline is they start down in here in Kentucky, and the man has always wanted to explore the Kentucky River, but he has to persuade his wife that he can go with his buddies and leave her there at home. She has a little baby, and times were rough. So finally she relents, she gives in, she lets him go, and he's supposed to be back in 4 weeks. And you know that didn't happen. Things happened along the way. So 5 of them they went up the Kentucky River, and as things progressed, they ran into a pack of wild animals at one point. They had an occasion with a black bear, and so it ended up only 2 of them crossed the Ohio River.
Okay, it's quite a drama.
It is.
How long did it take you to write this book?
It only took 1 year.
Is that right? Which is pretty short for when you consider
That's what they say, but I was right on it.
But you didn't have to do a lot of research on this?
I did quite a bit of research, yes.
And where did you have to do this?
Well, at that time, we winter in Arizona.
Okay.
So I went to the Mesa Library and another library and looked up facts on Kentucky. I looked up facts on what they ate, what they wore, how they lived, what kind of cooking they did, and I learned a lot.
Okay, and we'll learn a lot just reading this book, too.
You will.
What kind of reaction? I imagine family and friends, some of them have read this book.
Lots of them. They loved it.
Okay.
They want a sequel, and I'm writing the sequel now.
Do you have an outline, or how do you write
I write like through composed.
Okay.
That's a musical term when you start and it goes straight through to the end.
You kind of have an idea.
I kind of have an idea.
Okay.
And I'm
you write on a computer?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I write on the computer. I love doing that because you can move it around, make it fit in.
Sunset in Kentucky. Looks like a nice book. It's about a standard size. How many pages?
A little over 200.
Okay, that's about normal size for a novel like this.
Yeah.
And you've got more coming. And if somebody wants to get this book, how would they do it?
It's available on Amazon. It's an ebook. Or you can go to a Barnes & Noble and order it.
Okay, and the name, once again, is Sunset in Kentucky, Carol Howell. Okay.
That's right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carol, for being with us.
I've enjoyed being here.